Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's July 2nd, 2025. Looking out at the Boulder Mountains from a few days ago with that monsoonal air beginning to flow in. And if you're still enjoying this broadcast, we ask you to do a one-time donation, or even better, sign up for that monthly sustaining membership. We're going to have another round of thunder showers, mostly for Stanley and north there today. Could see a couple of light rain showers in the Wood River Valley. And then tomorrow, a cold front's going to come through and be a trigger for rain and afternoon thunder showers with that monsoonal air still pumping up the pipeline. We'll take a look at that in a sec. And the 4th of July is looking quite wet and more afternoon thunder showers. I say wet, I mean it's wet for this time of year. It's 2/100ths of an inch up to a half inch of rain in the mountains. All right, looking out at our infrared this morning, you got Hurricane Flossie down here. That's kind of going to make a track out to the stay in the ocean for most of the way and turn into a tropical storm. And then we have a low over the Fourth Corners a low over Oregon, California, Idaho today, spinning counterclockwise. And then a high area of pressure over the Four Corners. And this is kind of working as a conveyor belt to bring up that monsoonal moisture into our area today. That's going to be a trigger for some afternoon thunder shower activity over the next few days. This is looking at the water vapor map. You can kind of see those white colors, instability. You can even see some pop-up nocturnal thunder showers happening right here in the early hours of the night. And again, that's just moving up towards us, bringing us that surface moisture that we need to kick off thunderstorms. The forecast for smoke, we do have a light haze, very light haze coming up from the fires in southern Arizona and southern Utah in that kind of conveyor belt I was showing before, but it is still looking like we are in the green, very low levels of smoke in the air. Might just look a little hazy in that upper atmosphere. Looking at the HRRR today, so it looks like we might have picked up some showers overnight. Didn't check my rain gauge this morning. And then working through the day here, you can see right here might be some light rain. This is generally, if it's light blue colors, it's going to fall as Virga. So that moisture is not going to hit the ground. Just bring some cool looking clouds out there. And then this afternoon, you can see some pop-up thunderstorms beginning in the northern Smokies and over in the White Cloud area. And kind of like the day stretch of the Salmon River, could see some pop-up thunder showers before we go into nighttime. And then we move into the stationary front that comes through a cold front that comes through on Friday, the 4th this is Thursday still. Thursday, cold front comes through and it's going to bring showery activity for most of the day. We might have a break midday where the sun comes out and then looks like going to kick off some afternoon thunder showers. This does look like kind of a line from southwest to northeast across Galena Pass area with some more severe activity north of Custer. And then that's going to migrate to the east, and we might have some pop-up showers, thunder showers, in the Wood River Valley tomorrow, Thursday afternoon, that look like could have some pretty gusty winds and lightning. And looking at it another way, you can see how severe these storms are going to be. We're kind of in a donut hole today as far as severe thunderstorms. Not really going to see much besides what I was mentioning north of Stanley. And then that tomorrow afternoon encompasses more of us in the area. of the Wood River Valley and Stanley. So tomorrow afternoon is going to be kind of the big kicker for thunder showers, and that's just because that cold front's coming through, and it's going to be a great catalyst to great trigger to create some thunderstorms out there with lightning. And another thing we'll look at is how much energy we have out in the atmosphere. You can see it's kind of all around us today, but mostly up in that Stanley sawtooth area. And then tomorrow it's going to be a little bit more widespread, gets our whole the whole area covered. Whoops, I just switched over there. So this is the max we can see tomorrow, which is pretty cool. So we are actually in the 1,000 to 1,500 joules for Cape, which could be really, really cool. Joules per kilowatt. Looking at the rain for the next few days, it's going to be some light rain showers on Thursday with that cold front coming through. Up to 100 of an inch, not too much, but pretty wet for this time of year. But the 4th of July is really kind of when it starts to, that front's going to change from a cold front to a stationary front. So it's going to stay in motion, or sorry, stay in put, and bring us a couple hundreds of an inch to Haley, and even more so in the mountains. You know, the Pioneers are looking like 300s of an inch. This is a good rainfall for this time of year, thanks to that system coming through from the northwest. Temperatures are going to start to plummet. I say plummet, I mean, it was 94 here yesterday in Haley. It's going to be 89, then 83, working down to the low 70s for Friday for the 4th of July. So going to feel a lot cooler for that day. The good news I didn't mention before with the rain, it does look like it's going to end before noon for the kickoff of the 4th of July parade in Haley. So hopefully we can still have some pretty good viewing. Just wanted to show this. I don't normally show this this chart, but this is the national forecast chart. So you can see there's going to be a cold front coming through tomorrow. That's going to be the trigger for those thunderstorms, and that's going to change over to more of a stationary front. So that's where we're going to kind of have slow moving showers, more widespread shower activity compared to what we usually have. Cold front just kind of moves through in generally one band of rainfall and then moves out of our area. So we could see more widespread rain. And this is showing how much we can get with the national blend model. It's having a little bit higher amounts for, like, say the mountains. We're seeing anywhere from 3/10 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch in the mountains. It's kind of a good splattering all around from the southern edge of the Sawtooth, northern Smokies over into the Pioneers. So pretty good wetting rain for the 4th of July with thunder showers to finish that off. All right, looking at the GFS, if you're still with me here, you can see that closed off low on California. That's going to start to break down a little bit, and this trough is going to come through from the north on Thursday with that cold front and continue through Friday, and then start the change to zonal flow on Sunday, where we should kind of turn back into more high pressure. So next week, I was hearing in the forecast discussion, we're going to go back in the high pressure. You can actually see that here, big old high pressure over kind of to the west of the Four Corners, and should have another, I don't know if we call it a heat wave, but another big area of warming trend. And looks like there's going to be a new hurricane forming over in the Eastern Pacific. Pretty good round of hurricanes this season and tropical storms. I think we're on the second one, but seems like a lot for our part of the region. All right. Lastly, just kind of wanted to look around on Watch Duty's app if it loads. There's a couple of fires that popped up on my radar. There's this Buggy Gulch one, which is near Dillon. Looks like it's 200 acres, but the one that actually was a little bit bigger was the Garden Creek fire. So this is east of Blackfoot and south of Idaho Falls, so kind of the eastern zone. But there were some evacuation orders that went in yesterday. Looks like they have been lifted, but the fire does look like it's cruising pretty fast. I think it looks like it's in fairly open terrain. Looks like there might be some tree terrain, but mostly sage and grass. So not a lot of fuel, but when you're in sage and grass, those fires can move fairly quick, and then kind of die down overnight when there's higher humidity levels, and then spark back up in the daytime. So I'll kind of keep an eye on that, even though it's a little out of our area.